say he was a sculptor. Yet others say he was a vagabond with no purpose but to wander. What they all agree upon is that Pygmalion was in search of beauty, true beauty, one untouched by misfortune, unblemished by fate, one that embraced perfection with such innocence that a man had but to glance once and lose himself forever. Whether Pygmalion was a king, a sculptor, or a vagabond matters not, for he did travel in his search, looking for that perfect woman in whose beauty he would revel. When his own travels met with a knot, he relied in myth and folklore, traveling to distant islands and mysterious valleys where people spoke of having seen angels descend from heaven and mermaids rise up from the ocean. But he found nothing. Just as he was convinced that his search for perfection would go unrequited, he had a strange epiphany. He realized that perfection could not be found, for there were too many scars, too many blemishes in the canvas of reality. No, perfect beauty could only be created. It had to be in another world, a world where everything was known, where everything could be conditioned to facilitate that beauty and everything unwanted could be removed. A world where there was no disease, where the leaves never withered, and where the soft skin of a woman was untamed. That world was art. And thus was born Pygmalion, the artist. He was like any other artist, or I should say, every other artist is like him. Every artist sees the imperfections around him and seeks to rise above them, and in that, each one of you is an artist in your own right. So you create something sublime, something you would never find here in reality. You create, say, a dance, for the one who dances must know how to move, how to narrate, and how to listen, making her the most accomplished of all artists. You imagine this woman who has dedicated herself to this art and attained proficiency so great that even the angels in heaven pause to see her sway. Mesmerize me by the way you dance, hypnotize me, put me in a trance. Such grace in your moves, in every croon, you make me sway, you make me swoon. In the drops of rain, you twist and twirl, with a rhythm and a rhyme that makes me swirl. The grace of your moves, the hues of your being, sublime bliss creeps into me with what I have seen. perfection is lost. You become conscious of something you hadn't thought of earlier, that dance by itself can be learned. Surely some people are better at it than the others. Some people for their life cannot understand rhythm, but some people can. You realize that your aura of perfection, this being that you hold as an ideal, is flawed. It is not unique. It can be surpassed. It can become second to someone else. There's a moment where your vision lies shattered, and you say to yourself that she must leave. Lights start fading into the world you have created, until she and your ideas are enveloped in darkness. But who can console a pining heart? And the artist in you still pines, doesn't it, for perfection, free of fault and failure? So you begin again, and your world lights up again where you left it, while you re-examine where you failed and where you must start over. And this time you say to yourself that if the measure of perfection is something that cannot be surpassed, the virtue that expresses it cannot be something that is acquired. And finally you conclude that physical beauty is to be more important than anything else. It has to be more important than what you had earlier thought of. Does it make you shallow? Or does it make you deeper? For what greater achievement is there for a human being to take another and expose her to the arts? To take this woman of incomparable beauty and expose her to her own talents, to the arts, to hold a mirror against her own perfection. Yes, isn't that a higher, deeper motive for you? For an artist in you? And so you commence. And the beauty you imagine is in front of you. And she is divine. And words fade. And you fall in love. Love, yes. That so wondrous thing. A white lilybud just before the bloom. There she stands, perfection in these lands. So elegant is her voice, how pure, how perfectly demure. And she speaks in a divine voice. That she is something of your own creation is secondary, almost forgotten, and you set about in a frenzy to educate her, to make her soul as worthy as her looks. So you bring back your earlier creation, the dancer. She, for all her mistakes, was the highest student of arts and can surely teach this new wonder.
How you move, each action, so smoothly melting into the next. The water flowing down a hillside and ending with a cascading waterfall.
You are too kind. Sure, you exaggerate.
I mean every word I say. I wonder, how does one attain mastery of an art like that? I wish I could dance as well.
Practice. It is the only way. It requires effort and sacrifice. Practice is like penance. You do it with all your heart, all your soul, or you don't do it at all.
May I practice with you?
Sure.
When can we start?
Would you like to try something now? Stand before me and observe carefully what I do.
cannot help but lose yourself in the grace of her movements. She comes so close to you, but you are too far away. You find yourself hungry for her touch, for her sight, for her to hear your calls. You reach out to hold her, but you cannot. And you resign yourself to your confines, away from the glory you create.
You are beautiful, truly so. How one can be as magnificent as you, I cannot comprehend. It is at a real, unworldly.
Surely you exaggerate. You yourself are quite a piece of art.
But I pale beside you. I doubt a third would cast me a glance when you are near.
All you have to do is dance. Sway your arms, twirl around, and he shall forget me. Entranced by a beauty, much greater than a face, a beauty in action.
And you wait. You are learning well, and soon you will be as good a dancer, if not better. What then will be your excuse to attracting every man in the world?
I shall tell the men of the world that I shall let myself be taken, only when you have found one for yourself.
Then we shall be alone our entire lives.
So be it then. We shall still have each other.
You are divided from her only by your own thoughts and what you consider to be real. But you are madly in love with her, desperately, passionately, furiously. You love her so. You are madly in love with her, but you cannot do anything because she belongs to a different world, a world inside your mind, colored by your own thoughts. And you are on this side of reality, unable to cross over, so far, yet so tantalizingly close. And you decide you must have her. But how? The only recourse then is to enter your own story as another character. Interesting. As a mentor, perhaps. Through this mentor, you will pour your life into the story. For the mentor is but a projection of you, an image that will make you closer to the woman you love.
Culture and civilization has come not from how well the people master the arts, but how much they respect them. And likewise for you, who seek to learn unto perfection. Before you can move to dance, you must pay homage to those who created dance, to him who created you. And then you must ask yourself, why is it that you want to learn how to dance? Is it for your glory as a dancer, or his as a creator? You must know that art exists only in paradox. You shall not find that what you seek. If you seek to find fame, it shall evade you forever, and you will only find loneliness. If you seek proficiency, you will only meet fruitless failure. Yet, if you see it as a journey, then you shall reach a destination marked with happiness and fulfillment. If you seek to celebrate not yours, but his greatness, you shall meet the exaltation of the admirers of the world. And also, only if you commit yourself to toil, penance, and practice, shall you be blessed with mastery unsurpassed.
Through this mentor, who is but a thinly veiled disguise of yourself, you continue to make her worthier. You teach her the values of the abstract, so that dazzling, a woman of incomparable beauty celebrating her existence through dance, and yet so humble. Which man can deny such a being? Could even you?
There is an old tale we tell through our moves as we dance, of a young woman, a princess, coveted by all the princes of the world for her innocent looks and pleasant company. Of another princess, who driven mad by envy, cast a curse upon the first. condemning her to appear an inanimate rock during the day and take a human form only at night. Of a man, a young prince, who once, on a hunting trip, got lost in a forest. It was night, and he, unknown to the world, sat beneath a tree, waiting for the sun to rise again so he may find his way. It was that night that he saw the form of a fair maiden walking in front of him through the forest. He set about to pursue her. He followed her and got up with her and caught her wrist and sat her down. He tried to peer into her eyes. It was too dark. And so they spoke under the leaves in the dark, the prince and the maiden, and he found himself smitten. As the first rays of the sun appeared on the sky, the princess turned and walked away, leaving the prince wondering. And so he returned, night after night, to speak to this young maiden who had stolen his heart. He confessed he had fallen in love with her. She said she was cursed and would turn to rock as the sun rose again. He asked if there was any way to lift the curse. She said he would have to proclaim his complete and faithful love, and she would take a human form again. But she warned, if there was any guile in his proclamation, she would turn completely into rock, never taking a human form again. The next evening, the prince, seated on his throne in his palace, announced to his courtiers that he had selected his wife, a woman of fair virtue with whom he was in love. The courtiers asked where this woman was to be. Just then, a fair maiden walked into the court. Most beautiful indeed. She walked with an air of royalty. Everyone was awesome, even the prince. And he told himself, this must surely be the woman he was in love with. So he walked up to her, and just as he was about to ask her to marry him, he held her hand. But something felt amiss. The wrist he held in his hand was not the same as the one he held that fateful night in the forest. He stopped. Just then, another maiden entered the court. This one outshone the first by far. Every head in the court turned as the maiden bade the prince to stop and not say another word. He recognized the voice and understood what was happening. Evil sorceress had sought to trick the prince into marrying her so as to leave the maiden as stone forever. United with his love, the prince swiftly made a promise to marry her, thereby lifting the curse. What no one knew, however, was that the curse once lifted would set itself upon the one who had originally cast it. The evil sorceress found her limbs slowly turning into stone. She left the palace to a place never to be seen again. And the prince and his love lived happily ever after. You're learning more swiftly. It's commendable indeed.
Thank you, Master. I owe it to you and my companion who dances with me. You both teach me well.
And you wish to take none of the credit for yourself?
There is no credit in doing what one is supposed to do. I wish to learn, and I'm merely fulfilling my duty to myself and reveling in the art. But you, Master, and her, who've taken so much pain to teach me, these are your credits, these are your actions that deserve credits and praise.
Such purity of heart.
Once again, Master, this is something that my dance is on. However, it is getting late. I must take your leave, Master.
No, stay some more. It is only evening. There's much that we have to talk about. Do you know that there's much that can be learned about dance by watching the movement of the planets and the stars across the night sky?
That is all very well, Master. But I wish to leave. For my sister must be looking for me.
Stay, my child. The planets, the stars.
Master, please. I wish to leave.
What is this behavior? It seems your ability to dance is getting to your head. For who needs the master once the art has been learned, isn't it? I say stay and you will stay. And listen to what I have to say.
You are both proud and surprised. Proud talent so well. Proud also that the woman you love is of such high virtue. But surprised, as she seems to listen to you less and less, as if she has a mind of her own. When you, her master, bids her to stay, she insists on leaving. Leaving the side of a man who loves her to take the side of that worthless creature, that companion of hers. Have you let the flawed dancer stay for too long? You have seen how the maidens look at each other, how they hold each other's hands while dancing, and you cannot be happy by how the things are appearing to be. What's more troubling though is that there is an unwanted undercurrent in a world where you expected none. No! You decide something must be done, and swiftly.
I will talk to him. We will not let you go.
It seems pointless. I will know my purpose when I meet him.
Little thing, poor grieving blossom, separated from everything she loves, but her humility still in blaming herself before anyone else. Yes, she was a part of this grand design. Most certainly, she had a role to play. You see, you cannot perceive light without darkness. You cannot perceive warmth without cold and beauty without ugliness. To perceive perfection, one must wade through dirt and muck and experience all the darkness that lies within a man's heart. For a person who has never seen damage or deficiency or wretched incompleteness will never be able to understand what perfect beauty looks like. A person who has never heard brays and wild trumpets will never be able to understand what divinity in music is. And a person who has never seen coarse and agitated gestures will not revel in dance. And that, my love, is your place in the world. A blot of darkness, an agitated sound against which perfection could be measured. In a grander scheme, one must not outlive one's purpose. However, and this is not what I had expected, you did more than you think of. You have tried to steal away what was supposed to be mine. You see that splendor sitting beside you, holding your hand, wiping your tears, the one you love? She is mine, and no one else's. For this transgression, a transgression against your Creator, your God, a person who let you stay in His world, you are condemned. Leave now, you must.
I shall go now.
Don't go. Don't leave me.
Does this make me shallow? Tell me, my love. Does this make me seem bad to you? You should consider me benevolent, for I let her stay for so long. Remember, she was my mistake. She had to be you. I should have let her die before you came, but I let her remain. For a purpose, I agree, but nevertheless.
Master, please bring her back. Tell her not to go. Please let her stay. What has she done that is so profane? She has helped me, trained me, and completed me. Master, please bring her back.
No, I will not do that. She is no longer welcome here, and never will she ever be.
But what is it that has caused you to hate her so? Tell me. I will correct it. I will do whatever it takes. Let me bear the punishment for her sin.
No, not you. You listen, and you listen carefully. You're destined for greatness. Something far wondrous than she can ever even hope of achieving. Let her go. Your star command in another direction, and your presence there can only hinder your success now.
Master, this cannot be true. I refuse to believe this. Please bring her back. I shall not speak to her. I shall not dance beside her. I shall pretend she is gone. But she must come back.
What you ask for can never be.
Then I shall leave with her, behind her, to wherever she will go. The greatness of promise of whatever be damned. I shall not dance if I am not beside her. And should my feet be bruised and bitten on the long road to which I follow her, then so be it. I shall not dance, but to be with her.
How dare you!
You are shocked because you realize that she is not rebelling against her master, no. She is rebelling against you, her creator, her God. How dare she? It's a single moment of desperation when you realize that you have to fight for the woman you love. The confusion that occurs, though, is that she is the woman you have created. How can you fight your own creation? Even so, you are possessed by this mad rage. How can she love someone else? And an aberration at that. And an aberration of your own imagination, a mistake, a blot, or a stain on your canvas of perfection. beautiful flower shining for the other sun. And you can stand no longer, sitting on the outside behind the light marches away from the fray, divided by the single wall, the wall of reality. All at once you realize that you have been a part of this, that your life is for her and her alone, that all your efforts to come closer to her have gone in vain. The master too has outlived his purpose, and you cannot, will not stay away. And slowly you can see that you can transcend that divide. Into your world, into the world you have created. This is what your love stands for. The pledge that you will leave aside everything you know and follow your love to another world. A world which you know so well, but you hardly know at all. The master will no longer be an imitator. He will become you.
Master, I will request you no longer. Please bring her back, or I shall kill myself. I shall die. You cannot do this to her. To me. How could you? You love us. Do you not? Why do you want to hurt the flowers that grow in your own garden? Which father seeks to destroy his own daughter? Which farmer salts his own field? Surely, you would listen to reason. Bring her back. But if you do not, then I shall stay here no more. No longer with you, no longer in this world. Tell me, master, would you rather see a noose around my throat or poison in my belly? Or one final time I offer you, would you like to see me prance away? What I do depends on whether you bring her back. That is all I have left to see to.
Wait, I pray. Don't do anything hasty. Listen to me, for I can explain.
Thank God, master, for I feared something had possessed you. How you acted and spoke in an unperceivable madness for an inexplicable reason. I am glad you agreed to explain. And through this, I hope I can convince you one final time what I wish and why I wish it.
My darling child, my love, I have come to speak to you.
Master, you look faint. Are you well?
I feel better than ever before.
You look strangely different, but I cannot ascertain in what way. You look pained.
Pain, perhaps, yes. That's the word. But you look resplendent. It's like I have never seen you before.
Master, I am just what I am. What I was yesterday and the day before, and since as long as I can remember.
No, love, no. And even if it is so, it is like I am seeing you from new eyes. It is like a veil has parted between us. I am feeling like a blind man who has been blessed with vision and now can finally behold what he could only touch in darkness. You are truly more beautiful than I had ever imagined.
Master, please stop. Your words are perplexing me. You're making me flush. I feel confused.
Confused? On the contrary, I just wanted to make things clearer to you.
Clarity? But master, you have never spoken to me like this before. It's as if you're a different man. I can hardly recognize you, let alone establish where your words come from.
If you wish to ask me anything, my child, ask me and I shall explain.
Then answer me, master. Why have you banished my love, my companion? What wrong did she do that you must send her with no hope of return?
Well, if you wish to start on that note, so be it. First, let me explain why she was here at all. It was essential that she be here, for without her, how would one experience light? How would one perceive the difference between noise and music? But now that perfection has been realized, she had to leave. She was here for only one single purpose, to help you shine brighter. And now that perfection has been realized, there is no place for her in this world.
Master, you surely do not mean that. Was she not dear to you?
No, not for a moment. Listen, my child, there's action. And in this greater idea, she was an aberration who overstayed her welcome.
Master, how can you say that? I loved her. She was dearer to me than a sister.
Yes, I saw that too. That was another reason why she deserved banishment.
What? Why?
Because you were not supposed to love her so. Your place in this world is for a different reason, and she was distracting you from your purpose.
Tell me, Master, what has my fate intended for me?
You were supposed to wait, and she was not letting you do that.
Wait. What for?
For me.
You?
Yes. Me. You were supposed to be exposed to arts and culture and knowledge. That was all. But you were supposed to love me and me alone.
No.
Yes, it must.
It cannot be.
Yes, it must. I have waited for too long. Watching you grow. Watching what you have become. Your beauty never waning has been heightened by what you have acquired, and I can wait no longer. Come to me, my love. Embrace me. I command you.
Master, this cannot be true. This cannot be what fate had in store for me.
Hapless, ignorant girl. Can't you see? I am your fate. I am your creator, your God. Everything. You have to come to me. There is no other place you can go to.
Master, you go too far. This cannot be true. It is impossible.
Where will you go? This is my world. Where else can you go?
I can run away.
Really? Try. Try to run away.
I shall kill myself. I swear I shall.
I have placed no instruments of harm in this world with which you can kill yourself. Why don't you try?
Then so be it. Master, you may do as you please. Do what you can, but you shall never have me. For I already belong to someone else. Someone punished, in spite of being innocent. And with what little is mine in this world of yours, I curse you. That when you will see me, you will see but a figurine of stone. And when you will touch me, you will feel the cold touch of marble. You will call my name, but only your echoes will you hear. For I should become inanimate long before I should become yours.
No. No. How can you spurn me like this? How can you do this to me? How can you turn away so coldly after all that I've done to you? Given you my life, given you teachings, given you this world free of fault. So perfect. How can you leave me to someone else? I command you to love me.
You cannot.
I can. I am your God.
I will not love you, Master.
Then you leave me with no choice. You are inviting your own death.
Really? With what? You have placed no instruments of harm in this world.
I will kill you with my own hands if I must.
Go on then. Destroy me if you dare. The legend of Pygmalion goes on to say that Galatea was brought to life by the blessings of Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Pygmalion was overjoyed, for his search for perfection was complete, and his life work had borne fruit. He loved Galatea. He hoped to make her his wife, raise a family. But Galatea felt differently. She could never love him, for he gave her his form and life, and was thus more a father than a lover. But she spawned a hatred of a deeper kind, for all her perfection and all her beauty was not hers. It was his invention. She was like a mirror in which he framed himself, and for that very reason, she despised him. till the very end. And his statuette, the fair Galatea, made of stone, brought to life, remained immortal, blessed by the gods, untouched by the elements. And the story lives on. For in a work of art that can truly endure, an artist must pour his entire life into the plot, yet he must perish. And what is life his must flow into his creation, and only she lives on forever.
We had as the artist who eventually perishes, Shrey Chakraborty.